Nice. Hi everybody, Zero here. I meant to do this video last night, but ran into a problem over here with my new registers. They weren't quite sending the signal like they were supposed to. But I fixed it, so it's all good now. I did some redesigning. Last video I had to take down all of the addressing here because I changed this here. So as you can see, these are all now back, fully functional. I also kicked this bus out a few blocks so that way I could fit these control lines kind of under everything. I think it looks nicer that way. That's why I did it. But that means that I had to redo all the command blocks under there and all the command blocks over here and all the command blocks over there. And anyways. I also connected up these controls to the instructions that they will be a part of. So, and then this all works, so this will send the signal around over there, and then up onto there, and then up onto here. So, that is where that one goes. And then we have this one, which is the other line over there, so that's the second one. And it just kind of wraps around, goes under. And then this one. This one goes to the address register. Yeah, pretty fun. Okay, so the reason for all of the redesign is because I was trying to figure out how the machine code would actually interface with what I've got here. And after thinking about it for a little bit, I found out that what I had wasn't going to quite cut it. So, hence the redesign. I also did this corner over here. I bumped this bus out a lot, as you can tell, and that's just so I could fit these registers in here, and also with space for the control lines in between the main bus and the actual registers. I redid these over here. So these before were setting the block on top of this block and then sending a redstone signal. So now these will actually do this block, and I've got command blocks underneath there, which then changes all this to redstone blocks, and then there's redstone blocks under here. Sends it all down onto here, just right at the end of this glass here. And there's more redstone blocks, and then this was actually done in two parts. Before I was hoping that I could just pull everything off of just one block. See how this block is directly on top of this block? So I took this block out and put a redstone dust there, because then if signal goes through here, it'll light it up. If signal goes through here, it'll light it up. But the issue is turning it off. If you turn off this is still going to be on, which is still going to keep that lit, so you're never actually going to be able to turn off anything else. So I had to break it down into two parts. So the first part here is pretty standard. This is just normal. It's basically the same stuff as what is in here. So it just propagates a signal that way. Except that these command blocks are actually doing a chunk of blocks, like a very specific one, not just filling. So each one of these, whether it's on this register or that register, will fill from here, or this block here, all the way to the next propagation point, which is down here, to I think the end block there. And then it is actually, hold on, I lied to you. I'm sorry. These ones are controlling up here. So when this lights up, then these ones will go on or off. And then these ones over here, because propagation is already controlled over here all the way through, so you don't need to redo the propagation. But over here, when we're reading from the register, we want this to actually end up on the bus, right? So the blocks that are under here, and these are just alternating, so redstone torch over here, redstone torch over here, so it just alternates. Still basically the same thing, but these ones are doing the chunk of blocks. So these ones under here, like if this one turns on, then it'll turn this whole chunk on. And then same with this one here. If this one turns on, it'll turn on this chunk, and then so on and so forth. But yeah, so that's how I had to do it. It was very annoying because like I got like through the video and stuff, and then I realized that this didn't work, and I'm like, oh, I should pause the video, and then I looked at my little microphone here, and it was still on mute, so the entire video that I had shot anyways would have been worthless. So yeah, to see how this kind of works. Now remember, when we read from one register, we also wanted to show up onto every other register, which is why I have it set up the way that it does, or the way that it is. The way that it is. Wow, I can't talk. Okay. So let's say that we throw all these things on, right? There we go. Okay. I was too far away, so it didn't quite update yet. So as you can see, it goes through here. It all looks nice and seamless, even though it was a freaking pain in the ass to get it done. So as these line lights up, it lights up all of these lines, and then it goes to this very end piece of the register. The register itself, I broke down into basically two commands. This one clones from here to here, and this one clones from here to here. And then I've got blocks underneath, kind of like an alternating, so like this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. So it reads these two blocks and then it propagates outwards. And so that's how I have this working. So if we want to read, it's pretty simple. And then, right. You just hit these little buttons there. And then we'll go and turn off this. And then I'll get to that in a little bit. You'll notice that it looks different. Okay, so we turn off the data. Data goes off. Okay, so then turning on, turning off, everything just updates automatically. But now let's say that we want to read from the X register, right? So it turns on this line here, which also turns on all these lines here, which also turn on these lines here, which means that we can take stuff from here, put it into here, or from here and put it into here, or from here and put it into there. So, yeah. I already did a function check on those. They all work. Don't want to bore you with the details there. Okay. So now we will just flush everything. Now, the way that this works, this can be overwritten, right? So if you were to send in, like, or read something new from here, as soon as it goes through here, it'll overwrite onto these automatically, even if they're turned on. So, like, if you read from this, and then you, like, read from RAM or whatever, whatever you read last will actually be the one that shows up on here. And then, if we want to just rewrite, set them all back to 0. Okay, I have not got the control lines done yet. So if you were to turn on something over here, it's not going to propagate through. So right now it's just working off the buttons. But that should be pretty easy to do. All right. Now for this. Yeah. This is going to be interesting because this is the same basic thing as how those are set up. So I'm going to have to set up this one the same way. This is our new and improved program counter. So instead of being tall and bulky and just kind of massive, I changed it. So now, so we still have, like, everything still works the way it's supposed to. Like, this is the increment button, so there's still increments and everything. If we wanted to put in a pattern, so let's say that we go with an alternating pattern. Whoa, hey, let's not go there. Yeah, so these are propagating out already, so I've got some of this done, just not all of it. And then because of how all this crap is and reading from here down onto the line, that's going to change as well. Okay, and then we want to put this onto the program counter, so it still does the same basic thing. You can't see it because it's covered up with the diamond block right now, but underneath this one and then going all the way under here is quartz, and then it just turns to redstone, which holds all of these command blocks high while you run through all of these guys here. So this one, let's see, so this one puts the redstone underneath these ones. This one right here clones over, and you can see that it's cloned over. And then this one here sets up, this is actually 2 tall, and there's actually 2 sets of command blocks under here. So we've got these 3 on top, but then there's another 3 underneath. And then underneath this quartz is another quartz, and then this one just turns on all of them. And then this is the same thing that was kind of like up in the air over here. and this just changes all of these things to what it's supposed to be. And then this one right here just turns the quartz the redstone that is now under here back to quartz. And so yeah, it does pretty much the same thing. Alright, so if we want to increment, we can still do that. Okay, so now we have that one, and then when we want to read from this, that's all set up as well, so it just clones from here onto here, and because the propagation here is already set up, it just sends all the way out. But, like I said, I am going to have to, I'm going to have to, move this out some, because I'm going to need enough room to set those alternating command blocks under here. And then, yeah, should be interesting. So yeah, new and improved program counter. We've got the control lines coming out of here. I think this is going to be a nicer thing because I can just put this onto the bus and then it'll run all the way through. So should be good. I was hoping to get to the point to where I could actually run a really simple program, and that's where I would store all of the instructions into the RAM in sequential order how they're supposed to be, and then all it would do is it would take a number that is stored in here, put it into the X register, and then it would clear the bus, and then it would take this number, put it into the Y register, clear the X register, clear the bus again, although I probably wouldn't have to do that with the way that it's set up right now. And then it moves it from here back into here, and then from here back into RAM. And so that's basically the way that it should be set up. Yeah. It's actually got a lot of commands, or instructions to get that done, which was kind of frustrating. So I'm still not quite at that point yet, but I am working on it. And then I figured I'd just kind of show you what I got so far. So there it is. Hopefully this was a somewhat short video. Oh, and also that's my little weather clear daylight keeper thing. I just moved it over there because it's just an open space. It doesn't actually have anything to do with anything. And then the glass here is just to separate the sections. So the orange glass north, or whatever direction that is the RAM. And then from the black glass down this way is the CPU, I guess. Green is for the registers. But yeah, it's just kind of like breaking things up so it's easier to see and understand. Alright, so that's the video. This would have been made a lot easier if we had these blocks here. Because, yeah, all I would need to do is take a bunch of these blocks, put it over onto here, have this little intersection block right there, have more of these blocks go all the way down over here, and then for these blocks here, I would just need to take two of these, stack them on top of each other, because then you've got the signal going through that way, and then you've got the signal going from one to the other, and then you've got more of those blocks going this way. It would make this so much easier if we had these. And then these are just little refresher blocks to propagate the signal. Because, you know, you don't want it to be, like, just run infinitely, just because it's in here. Like, you want to have to refresh it every once in a while, like normal redstone, but yeah. It would be so much easier if we had these. So much easier. I mean, like, night and day. Just ridiculous. But since they're not in there and we don't have them, I have to make do with command blocks and trying to make them do what I want them to do, which doesn't always work. Alright, so that's the video. If you liked it, go ahead, hit the thumbs up. If you want to see more stuff like this, go ahead and subscribe. And then I will see you next video. So, have a nice day. I've got some errands to run. Probably got to get some food. So, yeah, that'll be my day. Bye.